right, so this video 524 is an introduction to Z-scores, which is really cool. I put a little box on there to remind me to tell you a story about iron science, and I'll tell you the first part of the story here, and hopefully I'll remember at the end of the video to tell you the end of the story. So a number of years ago, you guys probably, I think it's still on TV, Iron Chef, right? The idea of these chefs and they're throwing some weird ingredient and they have to, make an amazing meal of it. Well, there was for a number of years on Discovery Channel in Canada something called Iron Science. And Iron Science was kind of the same idea, except they took a bunch of science teachers or sciencey people and they gave them a topic and they threw them together and they said, make a lesson on it. So I was really lucky. I can't remember how this started, but I was really lucky. I worked with Wanda Bahowich, who was the curriculum writer, and I worked with two other ladies from the Science Center, and we became Team Saskatchewan. We called ourselves the Iron Maidens, being all cool and sciencey. And we got to go to, we took our Iron Science plan. So we're the provincial team, the only provincial team I've ever been on. Took our Iron Science team, and we got to go to regionals in Winnipeg and compete. And we planned and we worked really hard. We worked our little hearts out and we came in third. Okay, we came in third, which is pretty impressive for a girl who has never been on a provincial team before. So I will connect that with something at the very end of this video. Let's talk about Skippy instead. Okay, so Skippy, he's my favorite imaginary student. He scored 75% on his math test and 72% on his English test. He's thinking about going to university. He doesn't know if he wants to go to math or he wants to go to English. He's not really sure where his major should be because his heart's divided. He likes both of them. I have my own personal advice for him, but whatever. Which class is he better in? Well, is it math or is it English? There's no particular right answer. I'm thinking most of you are going to say that he's probably better in math. Why? His mark is higher. Is there anything else that you'd like to know? And there should be. So math, mark higher. What else do you want to know? Oh, I don't know. How about class averages? Mean? Maybe you want to know about the future, but that doesn't really help us because this is completely fictional and I've never thought about Skippy's teachers. But yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Some teachers mark harder than others. All right. Now, next question. How would your answer change if you knew that the mean of the math exam was 78 and the mean of the English exam was 68? So, math, Skippy got a 75 and the mean was 78, which means he was below the mean, or honestly below average. And don't take that as like a terrible insult. In any set of data, half the people are above average, half the people are below average. Done. That's just how math works. In ELA, all right, Skippy, I don't know why I had to write his name, not we're talking about anybody else. He got a 72, and me a 68. So now when we know that, it looks like he was doing a lot, or at least better in English. All right, let's take a look at this one. Skippy wrote a biology test and he scored 80% in the test and the class mean was 72. So, okay, so he was above the mean. And in chemistry, he scored 87, and the class average was 82. He also scored above the mean. Which class is he better in? Well, in bio, he scored, I'll do it the same way. Skippy 72, mean 80, flip 8 marks. Oops, marks higher. Right, because up here it was easy. One was above the mean, one was below the mean, so we could tell right away. In chem, Skippy 87. The mean was 82. And it looks like he was 5 marks higher. So it could be that he's a bit better in biology because he's 8 marks above the mean, whereas this one's 5 marks above the mean. That's a legitimate decision. But you know what? This is a section on statistics. Let's explore further. All right. And the fact that it talks about the standard deviation. Now let's see what we can make. And again, anything you get from me, pretty much if it says standard deviation, it's like, yeah, I'm just going to draw the curve. All right. So let's look at biology. Oops, I was a little off. Oh my, I'm just off totally on this one. There's my mean. And the biology test, where is it? 72. With a standard deviation of 4.5. That's pretty small, but you guys can see what I'm doing. You've done this enough. Minus 4.5. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be a little lazy, not put the percents in because I don't think we're going to need them. That's not where I'm going. Although, it's not a bad idea. So 72 plus 4.5, 76.5, 81. $67.5, 63, 50%. Frequency. Now, what did he score? He scored an 80. Ew. What's the problem? Now, I'm going to check my math here. 72 plus 4.5, 76. And then do it again. Whoops. Plus 4.5. All right. So we're supposed to figure out where 80 is, and it's not on a graph. But you know what? I'm going to estimate. I'm going to say 80% is about there. Okay, just so you guys know, it wasn't supposed to be on an actual number. That's what the z-scores are going to be for. The z-scores will actually tell us exactly how many standard deviations over that is. Because right now I know this is exactly 1 standard deviation. That's what all those bars are about. And then we got part of 1. And well, 80 is closer to 81. That is, the 76 was probably over halfway. So at least 1.5 standard deviations. Okay, that's my estimate. At least 1.5. I'm going to use a sigma symbol. Okay, no, not. That looks like a 6 that I wrote weird. Standard deviation there. Okay, so his mark is at least 1.5 standard deviations above the mean. Now let's look at chemistry. Ah, sorry, my hand ran into our camera. There's mu. Okay, so the average was 82 and the standard deviation was 7. So 82 plus 7, okay, that's going to be like 89. 96. Okay, 103. Probably should have checked that number before I did it, but let's just pretend that there were some bonus marks awards so you could get over 100%. 82 minus 7, 75, 68, 61. All right, and Skippy scored, what did Skippy score? Skippy scored 87. So there's 82, right? Scored 87. There's 82, there's 89. I'm just going to make a rough guess that 87% sits about there. Now you can see in chemistry, a whole standard deviation would be 7. It goes all the way there. So he's not even about, well, you know what? Let's make it easy. Less than, sorry. About the mean. All right. So I just want to make sure you guys understand this. So in this class, Skippy didn't make it a full standard deviation above the mean. So let's do it this way. If Skippy scored 82, he scored better than half the class. If Skippy scored an 89, now if you remember, oh, I should put my numbers in. Okay, if Skippy actually scored an 89, that would mean he would be better than everybody to this area. And that, if you remember, that's 50 plus 34. That would be 84% of the class. So probably he scored better than, let's say, 80%. I'm just doing a rough guess. Okay. Now, over this one, if Skippy scored 72, that would be 50% of class. If he scored 76, that would be better than, see, it's biting me in the butt, 0.15. I said that on screen. I'm sorry. You adults, 2.35, 13.5, 34, 34, 13.5. So if Skippy got to there, he scored better than 50%. If he scored to there, which is 76, right, he would have scored better than 84. But he even did better than that. He scored partway into this one. So he's got all of this area So from here to here, and that one, and part of that one. So I'm not sure what that percentage is, but it's over 84%. So he actually did a lot better in this class than he did in this one. He's farther from the mean in standard deviations in biology than he is in chemistry. And that got really kind of, I don't like this at least, less than, not fond of that. And the last little part is, if only there was some way to be more precise. So the point of this was, the more you do statistics, the more you're able to delve deeper into the data. And just knowing a mark of 75 at the beginning, well, you did pretty good. But then, you know, it was 75, but the class average was 78, which means he was below the average. And then in these two, he was above average in both, but based on the standard deviations, which were different, he was actually doing better in biology, which he scored a lower mark because the class average was lower in the standard, and the standard deviation was lower. Anyway, the next part about the Z-scores is going to show us how to calculate that exactly. So we're not going, yeah, about 1.5, or no, not really. It's kind of less than 1, but I don't know how many. That don't like that. Oh, I need to finish my story, my bragging story about iron science. And one of these days, if I remember, I will actually wear my Iron Maidens t-shirt. Pretty cool. Limited edition, I believe 4, maybe 6 were made. That was it. Designed by somebody at the Science Center. And it's not the rock band. Anyway, back to my story about iron science. I said we went to Winnipeg. We're the provincial team. We came in 3rd. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Yeah, well, there was only 3 teams. But it's a great story. And it's the only provincial team I think I'll ever be on. So have a great day. Hope it made you laugh.